Can you say your first and last name and then spell it out for me?
Austin Rutkowski, Austin Rutkowski.
And then what year are you at IU and what dorm do you live in?
I'm a freshman and I live in McNutt.
All right, so a friend texted me, said that you might have had to live in a lounge last semester a couple times. Can you just tell me what happened? And yeah, let's start with that. Can you just tell me, why you got put in this lounge?
Yeah, so it happened on 2 occasions actually. The first one was there was like a pipe malfunction or something with the sewer system on the bathrooms around this building, Crone, and then the water drainage system right in the bathrooms across from our hall, they started to flood with sewage water, and it started to flood the whole entire floor and start to run off into like our room area. Like our room was like the only one that was like really affected, so we had like little puddles of like sewage like water in our room. So we had to stay in the lounge for one night then until they got it fixed up, and they were working like day and night trying to fix it. So that was the first time, and the second time we had a mold problem in McNutt, and then so they had to go through each floor and service all the air conditioning and they clean out all the mold. So they had to do it on every floor, and then they came through our floor on like a Friday or something, and we had to be out of our room by 6 a.m. and we couldn't come back until like maybe like 6 again in the afternoon or night. So we had to be out for like 12 hours or more. So just to avoid the like waking up early hassle, me and my roommate slept in the lounge the night before, and we slept there all through the day before our classes because we just didn't want to have the extra struggle. And then they were in here working, and then we couldn't access our rooms or anything. They had like tarps up everywhere. We couldn't like get to our clothes. So we had to like, for both nights, the sewage night and the mold night, we had to pack up all of our stuff, like clothes, books, like even like shower stuff, and we had to like carry it around like to class because we couldn't come back in our rooms. And then, yeah.
So the room that we're in now is the room that had all the mold and the sewage problem. So the sewage problem leaked in here, and the mold was actually in this room.
I'm not sure if our room was one that specifically had it. They had like it was required to check all the rooms for mold. So they did the floor above us and the south side of McNutt and basically every floor. So they had to do sweeps of every floor. Some like rooms across the floor have been found with mold, but I don't think ours was one that was actually found with mold. I think ours was clear, but they still had to check anyway. They had to check all the floors. And then the sewage did come into this room, actually. So.
How many kids had to live like in lounges for those next couple of days in McNutt?
For the sewage night, it was just me and my roommate because I was the only room that was affected and just had like a really putrid smell to it. And then for the mold time, not many people like you didn't have to live in the lounge. They just gave that option. So, and we slept in the lounge on Bordner, and then it was me and my roommate and maybe like 6 to 8 other people, all like sleeping on the couches, like floors. We all brought like our blankets in there, and then other people who decided to like tough it out through the night, they sat like in their rooms, woke up at 6, and then just basically did their thing and went to like classes and stuff and didn't sleep in the lounge. They just got minimal sleep. But it was never like told you're required to live there, except for the sewage time. They said you had to live there.
So, I mean, I think if me personally had to live in a lounge, like I don't think I would really care. But
Yeah.
Obviously, I don't really know you. What were there any emotions going through your head? Like you have to pay all this money for this dorm and you had to live in a lounge for 2 nights? Like what, between you and your roommate, like what was going on through your head?
Well, we were a little bit heated about it because it was just like 2 continuous days of sewage just rupturing out of the pipe. So like we could just sit in this chair right now and look across and we'll see like really crummy water bubbling out of it and just like slowly starting to move its way towards the room. So we like put like paper towels down and stuff. So it's kind of like annoying because there was a basketball game that day and we had tickets there, so we wanted to go to the game, but we're at the same time we're like, I don't want to go because we have to worry about this and it might seep into our room, and then it did. So that was not a good time. So we were pretty mad about it. Like you said, put a lot of like money into it. We had to go through that. So it wasn't like the worst thing in the world to live in the lounge. Like it was kind of fun. Me and my friend had a good time in there, just goofing around. But it was just like a bigger hassle to like rather than just it's obviously worse than sleeping in your bed. And then same with the mold, having to like wake up early and stuff, and pretty much pack your whole entire day into one bag and carry around with it around school.
Like a little hotel.
Yeah.
Like staying in like a really crappy hotel.
Yeah. Basically.
So the lounge. So describe the layout of the lounge.
The lounge is a giant square, and then in one corner there's a TV, which was nice. And then there's 4 couches that could probably sit like 3 people in each. So it's enough for like one body to lay across. So there's 4 couches all set up in a square, and then around it there is like 4 tables with chairs and the other, like surrounding the windows across on the other side.
So it's a pretty big room.
Yeah, there's a lot of open space in there. You could probably almost fit like maybe like 20 people in there comfortably if you really wanted to. I was lucky enough to get a couch with my roommate because we got there early. So, yeah.
So sleeping on the couch. I mean, those couches can't be comfortable.
They're not the best. I mean, they're not high quality. A little bit stiff, but I mean, it's better than on the floor like the other people. So.
Were there other outlets and stuff that like charge your phone, like you're early in the morning? All that
Yeah.
stuff too?
There's outlets and like on the walls and stuff. So me and my roommate were pretty well handled there.
So that other time there were people in there with you, right?
Yeah, the second time with the mold, there was, like I said, maybe like 6 to 8 other people.
What was that like? Like, do you know the people? Was it just like a giant sleepover? What?
So when they like went through the floors to clean up, they did like just our floor. They didn't do like another like other buildings like on the other side. So it was just like there's like 45 people on this floor, I believe, and then so it was just people from this floor that we were just told to move out, or just get up early, I should say. We weren't told to move out. So we, like I said, me and my roommate went there like at 12 when we went to bed, and we got there like just so we didn't have to wake up and get up and go. We just packed up all of our stuff beforehand, and we were pretty much set. And then I remember just like probably 6-ish, 6:30ish when we were told to be out, that like I remember a bunch of like mob of like people coming through, like the other like people on the floor all coming in. They're all like being obnoxious, all like mad too about having to get up and all cranky, and they're all making all this noise and finding their space to sleep, and that was really it. Like,
is there an alternative? So you know, there's a sewage problem, there's a mold problem. Can you say no?
I mean, like I said, we weren't specifically like told like you guys have to live somewhere else. Like we just had to be out by 6. We can't be on this floor between 6 and 6 at night. So.
So what about the sewage problem with that seeping in your room? So obviously, like, you kind of have to be out of the room if that's flowing into your room. Did they not give you an alternative to go to another dorm? They just said, hey, you should probably sleep in the lounge? Is this from an RA too, or who's telling you this?
It's mainly just like our RA on another floor and another like more like head RA, I guess, just someone who knows a little bit more. They basically told us that me and my roommate needed to like go somewhere, and they gave us like somewhat of like an option. They said the lounge would be like pretty much ideal, and they gave us like keys to the lounge, so we were able to like lock the doors so nobody else was coming through it, so we had a little bit of privacy because just a couple students laying in there. And then they also said we could go to like a Southside McNutt dorm and spend the night there, just like an extra dorm I guess they had, but we just wanted to keep it somewhat close to here. It was just a little bit more convenient to stay on the lounge. So that was really our only options. Like this is during the sewage, they told us we had to be out. Like they said, if you really, really wanted to, you could brave it out, but it just smelled really, really bad, and there was water coming in our room. So like it's just something we didn't want to deal with. So we knew it would be best to go to the lounge. And then for the mold time, they didn't tell us we had to sleep somewhere. It was all by choice.
Do you know any friends or like other people? So I guess people on this floor have had to live in the lounge, but do you have any buddies anywhere else that have had to sleep in lounges?
No, not that I know of. I don't think any other floor or building has had like a mold issue of some sort where they've had to be, like, I guess, pushed out of their dorms. Not the least that I know of.
What about like a capacity issue? Because I remember last year and 2 years ago, the IDS published, I think they published a couple articles that dorms are really full, so people had to live in lounges. I mean, I know you're just a freshman, but do you know anyone else that's just had to live in a lounge, or pretty much just you and your roommate?
I don't think so. It's nothing that I heard of. I never heard of like at the beginning of the year when people moving in, they're just like excess people. Um, I don't know. I'm probably not really sure. Nothing that I know of, but I don't. Maybe not as much because when we first lived in there for the sewage time, when we lived on a different like lounges floor, like the people on the other floor kind of like embraced us as like refugees, as they told us like that's how they greeted us, and they were like just like messing with us, telling us like, oh, like you're like running off now, like you're on your own. So like I'm probably sure they haven't had anything like that before. So it was probably like a first for most people that they've heard of.
You said you were heated earlier. Did you
Yeah.
like voice your concern to anybody, or like were you just you and your roommate were just talking amongst both of you, just oh hey, I'm pissed, I'm mad at this. Did you like tell your floor, like your RA, or how did you
I mean,
show that emotion? I guess.
yeah, we kind of like me and my roommate are pretty vocal on the floor. So like as we always would yell at each other, complaining about stuff that nobody else is listening to. But we say like our friends were like, "You guys got it good. You guys can at least stay in your room. We got to go to a different like lounge to sleep on a couch or something like that." And then like we always yelled at like our RA, like what's the deal with that? Like why? And then he was just like, nothing you can really do about it. Like, it sucks, but we're giving you alternatives. But we definitely made it known that we had to go through this. So, yeah.